Hello, today I will show you how we can develop an app without having any skills in coding. We are going to use two applications, Bubble.io and ChatGPT. I will connect those two applications and I'll show you the process how we can do this. Let's take a challenge and let's go. First, we are heading to Bubble.io. Once we sign in, then we need to name our app Super GPT app or Super GPT, create an app. All right, so create app. Yep, start with basic features. You can try it. There is a free trial and you can try a lot of features here. So yes, no worries. Let's skip application assistant. Let's close that Windows and tutorial. Okay, so first thing we need to do before we start drawing anything, we need to connect our plugins. The way that we are going to connect with ChatGPT. So add plugins. And first, what you want to install is API connector. We click install and it's done. Once we have that connector, we are going to add our API. This allows us to connect to different applications. In our case, it will be ChatGPT. What are we going to do? Add another API. Let's call it ChatGPT so we know what it is. Then we need to head to OpenAI platform, platform.openai.com. Once you sign in, then we need to head to documentation. And there you go. We need to find chat completion. And what we are interested in, it's make an API call for chat-based language models. So we click here and then we have a create chat completion. You don't have to know what it means. The only thing that matters for you is that C URL. Just copy this and let's back to our Bubble editor. What you need to do here, the only thing that you need to do is to click here, import another call from C URL. Click here and paste whatever you copied there and click import. And there you go. All elements that are needed have been copied. Now we need to perform some adjustments. So for sure, we need to authenticate our API. To do this, we need OpenAI API key. How do we get this? Let's come back to our OpenAI API. Let's go to settings and we see view API keys. Click API keys and generate new secret key. Let's call it Bubble demo key, create secret key, and let's copy this and write it down because we will never see it again. We're coming back here and we are changing this. And there you go. Let's test this. To test this, we say initialize call. I got an error. Okay. It's probably done. Yeah, without that. So let's do it one more time. Okay, so how do I know it worked? It worked because this is the window that shows you returned values from our API call. And we have a lot of things here. What I like to always see is raw data. So look at that. We have the whole response from ChatGPT. We have ID objects, when it was created, model, usage. Now we have section choices, and this is the only section that matters for us as of now. And what is more, the only thing that I'm really interested in is that, hello, how may I assist you today? I'm interested in content. Let's come back here and mark all of the things that we don't need as ignored field. It will make our code a little bit more clear. So ignore field, this and that. I don't need also message route. I know it's me, it's my assistant. Message content, yes, this is what matters for me. Finish reason is not needed as of now for me, and index is not needed. So this is it. I click save, and there you go. We need to do a couple of things here. We don't want ChatGPT to always be prompt with hello. As it is said here, we have that caret brackets for dynamic values. We change them and use it as a user prompt. Okay, so now it will be dynamic. What is more, now we have a key user prompt value. Let's say, how old are you? Just for the test purpose. Let's don't do this private, but let's make private here and here. So we can reinitialize our call. Let's do this. And when we go here to raw data, we can see an answer. As an AI language model, I do not have an age. We know that it works. Once we are connected here, we can start designing our application. Right, let's come back to our design tab. First, we need to find our group elements, group container, and I will grab it somewhere around here. Okay. As you can see, I will make it center. In terms of container layout, I will make it column. In terms of the outside index, align to parent and let it stay like this. In our container, we are going to define appearance. The appearance here, let's choose a background style as a flat color. It's here. Let's make it a little bit gray. Later on, let's add some roundness, 16. And what we can do as well, we can add shadow so it sticks out. 0, 0, and let's put it 16 here. Okay, we have a shadow, we have a roundness. What do we need next? Next, we have text. So let's put somewhere here. Let's title it Super GPT, right? Let's fix it on the middle, change our fonts Poppins. I like Poppins, and 32, so it's way bigger. Okay. Okay. In terms of layout, horizontal alignment, let's put it here. And that's good. As you can see, the title sticks right up against the edge of our container. So let's fix this. Let's click on the container part, and then let's go to our layout and add padding. Let's add padding from all the sides. There you go. Next, we need a place where we can put our text to send our prompt to ChatGPT. We are going to find an element that is called multi-line input. Okay, let's put it somewhere here. It's our column. I think we can make it minimum height. Let's put it 0, so it will adjust. Then we are on our multi-line input. Again, horizontal alignment, and we can put it a little bit down. So let's add some paddings at the bottom here. So it's 40. Let's do it. Okay. Once we have an input, we are going to use this to provide information to our ChatGPT. But to provide this, we need to then click the button so we can send that message. Let's take our text. Again, we are going to use text element, and we are going to put it here. Again, okay, let's make our text look more as a button. Click here, submit. First of all, I want to make it here, right up in the middle. I want to detach the style, so remove this. Let's change the font. Bigger, submit. Let's make it bold. And again, pop-ins. Line spacing, can leave it as it is. And what I want here, I want to center the text vertically. So right here. I don't want this button to stick right up against this text. I will add a little bit of margin in our layout for our button. Let's go here, add margin at the top. It's 30. Now let's come back to appearance and we can add the roundness, 16, background style, flat color, and we can choose, for instance, nice color. Okay, our text should more like that. All right, we have our button, we have the place where we can type our text. So let's go further. The next step that we need to do, we need to define the workflow. So what happens when I click this button? Right button of our mouse, start, edit, workflows. This is a place where we define what should be done if. So when text submit is clicked, then what happens? We need to call our ChatGPT. As you can see, we cannot call it now. We need to fix this right now. So let's come back to our plugins. Let's open our ChatGPT and we need to define this as not data, but use as action. So once we have it, now it's saved. Automatically, we can come back to our workflow and we can type call. Now we can call ChatGPT. We don't want to call this by user prompt, how old are you? But we need to insert dynamic data. How to do this? To insert dynamic data, we need to define them. So let's come back to our design. Look at that. I want values from that multiline input. It's called multiline input A. I can rename this as a prompt, multiline in prompt. Okay. And once I come back to our workflow, we have ChatGPT serial call, user prompt, insert multi-line input prompt. What values? So all of the values that are coming from multi-lines input should go to ChatGPT call. Once we have it, we need to display this somehow. So let's come back to our design. We need to create our answer window. Let's click on our container. Let's copy, paste this. And now when we go to our elements tree, you can see that we have group A, that is our prompt, and group B, that is going to be our answer. Maybe we can name this. So group A, let it stay as group prompt, and group B will be group answer. Let's hide our group prompt for a while. And I don't need this text here, so I can remove this, but I need a place where I can display this. Let's use this text and put it somewhere here. Great. That will be the place where I'm going to show our response. How am I going to do this? Maybe let's first of all detach style. Let it stay like this here. In terms of the layout, let's move it in the middle so it's centered. And if it goes in terms of mean height, then let's remove it completely. In terms of appearance, Nice. I can change again. Poppins. Good. So now it's the best part. We need to click on the container. This is our group answer. And we need to tell what kind of content we can expect here. Type of content will be text. It can be different content. It can be images, data, and so on and so forth. We are going to provide text. So type of content is text. Data source. Initially, it's empty. It will be populated once answer comes from ChatGPT. Type of content is text in terms of groups. In terms of our text here, I'm not going to have edit me. It should be empty. And then it's going to be populated with dynamic data. The data that are going to be inherited from the parent group's text. So we choose parent group text. I don't want this button to have a submit text. It should be something like ask me again. All right. So let's come back to our prompt here and our workflow. Once we called our ChatGPT with our prompt that comes from multi-line input prompts, we want to hide an element. So we want to hide group prompt, and we want to show group answer. So show an element group answer. Once we show that group answer, we want to display data, right? So next, display data in a group. What kind of data? Of course, I want to display group answer, and data should be result of step 1 ChatGPT. Remember choices, so we click choices and first item here, right? And message content. That's it. Okay, guys, so now it should work, but something pops up to my mind. Let's come back to our design. And at the very beginning, we have that group prompt that we want to be visible on page load, but probably we don't want to display that element, group answer, at the beginning. So this element is visible on page load, should be hidden, right? So let's click preview and let's remove this debug mode. So we have super GPT. Let's type something here. Tell me one sentence about ChatGPT. Submit. And there you go. ChatGPT is an innovative online platform that connects individuals. Great. So we have our answer on our screen. When I click Ask Me Again, nothing happens. And this is what we are going to fix it right now. Let's come back to our bubble editor and click the button here. Right mouse button here. Start Edit Workflow. When someone clicks Ask Me Again, I want to hide our element. What element? I want to hide group answer, and I want to show an element group prompt. So we can check it out one more time. Let's come back to our code here. Let's refresh the page and see what happens. Tell me one word about an apple. Submit. Crisp. Here we go. Let's click Ask Me Again. And we are coming back. But I see a problem here. We have still the same prompt. Tell me one word about an apple. Let's fix it one more time. What I want to do, I can come back to our design and click Group Prompt and right mouse button on Submit. So whenever I submit our prompt, I want to also initialize relevant input or reset. So I'm looking for reset relevant inputs. There we go. So we can come back to our demo and check it one more time. So name 3 fruits that are red. Apple, strawberry, watermelon. Okay, ask me again, and there you go. As we can see, it works nice. How can we enhance this? I can enhance this. You see probably that whenever I hit button submit, it starts processing. What can we add? We can add a little spinner here, so it informs us that something is happening. We have a submit button. And first of all, we need to define a state. So whenever it's processing, let's change our display text. Click text submit button with a little icon here. Let's click that icon and let's define custom states. I'm going to name that state as processing, and state type is yes or no. Let's create this. Now we have a custom state, yes or no. Default value is that it's not processing, so no. What do I want more? I want to display different text whenever the state is processing. So let's go to conditional. Oh, let's define another condition. Whenever this text processing is yes, I want to display different text. I want to change the attribute of that button that is called text, and now we have submit something else. So I can type processing ... and I can add also a little spinner. So the nice feature here, you can type it here, FA pulse, and do it this way. It's processing. So now let's come back to our workflow here, start edit workflow, and we need to initiate that state. So right after beginning, just before even ChatGPT, we can define our condition. Let's click here. And what do we want to do, right? We want to set state of an element. What element? Actually, text. We're looking for text submit processing, and we want to initialize this into value yes. So whenever text submit is clicked, then set state processing to yes. Once we finish everything, we need to reset that state into no. So I will copy this and let me put that here. At the end, I'm going to set this state to no. I'm clicking here and I'm changing this value to no. Let's check our preview. Let's go to our tab with no code apps. Let's refresh the page and see what's happening. Give me 2 reasons to have an iPhone. Okay, submit, processing, nice spinner here, and we are waiting for status to change. There we go, high quality camera, seamless integration. Ask me again, and everything has been reset. I think that we can enhance this a way more better, and this is what I'm going to show you right now. Let's go to our group answer here, and maybe instead of that boring super GPT, we can add a little nice touch here. To do this, let's head on to lotifiles.com and look at that. I'm going to download a nice animated icon. So let's find this. Let's find, for instance, a robot. Okay. Let's find a robot. And look at that. Look at that. What do we have here? Yeah, let's take this one. I like this one. So And once you click here, download, we are interested in Lottie.json. So click download, and let's come back to our bubble editor. To implement that animated icon, we need to install one more plugin. Let's come back to our plugins, and let's add plugin, and let's find something what is called Lottie and Lottie animations maintain. Let's install this. Now it's installed, and we are done. We can come back to our design. And once we are here and we find visual elements, we can type Lottie and we see them, right? We click here and I want them to display somewhere here. I can remove Super GPT. It's not needed anymore. Let's change the layout here. Let's make it in the middle. And let's change, for instance, something like that. Okay. And in terms of appearance, we need to upload our JSON file. So let's find our JSON. We're uploading your file. There you go. I think that there is time to test. So let's come back to our testing. Let's refresh the page. Okay. Tell me 2 words people like the most. Processing, love and happiness. There you go. We are done. Thank you very much, guys, for having me, for watching this video. Stay safe. Cheers.